Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to today's topic, which is talking about your niche. And is your niche too saturated? This is a really common issue that comes up for coaches, especially in this space, especially in the health and fitness space, right? So a lot of times I hear coaches talking about if their niche is too saturated, having this concern, asking like, hey, Valerie, it's already really competitive right now in this space. I'm having a really hard time finding a niche that is I'm going to be able to get clients in that isn't already too competitive. Because I don't really have a big brand, and I don't have a huge following, and I don't have all this experience like everybody who's been in the space way longer than me. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about, is your niche too saturated? How to know what to do about it, and how to stand out in a saturated market. If you have a saturated market, how do you stand out and attract clients? So as you're hopping on here today, let me know, say hello, let me know that you're here so I can say hello to you. And if you're watching this on the replay, if you're catching this the next time around, let me know. Comment replay in the chat so I can see that you're watching this, and let me know if this is valuable to you, because I know for many of us, if we're health coaches or fitness coaches, that is like the most saturated market to try to tap into, right? That is the most saturated market to tap into because the fitness industry is huge, right? Think about the weight loss space. Think about how many millions of people are looking to lose weight and how big of a market that is. How many people are already filling that space in the market? And I know for a lot of coaches, the concern is that they're too late to the game, that they missed the wave, right? Everybody's already doing it and making a name for themselves and has a big brand, and like, hey, I don't have a big brand over here. How am I ever gonna stand out in all of this noise? So as you're joining me, let me know if you can hear me okay, so I know that I'm not just talking to myself here and that you guys can hear me all right. We have a good connection. Leave it in the comments if you can hear me, and we will get into it. I'm going to talk to you about how to know if your niche is saturated, what that means for you as a coach getting started or trying to scale if it's saturated, and what you can do about it specifically. I'm going to give you some really key points on what you can do about it. Let me know if you can hear me. The most important thing to keep in mind with your market, especially in the health space, is that if you want to scale an offer and you want to grow your business, like make a long-term business out of your niche, it's really important to remember that if there's money in that niche, there's going to be competition there. It's already saturated. There's already people who have tapped into it, right? Hey, Caitlin. Oh, thanks for letting me know you can hear me. So knowing that it's really saturated already and knowing how to tap into that market, knowing there's already competition there, knowing there's already people who've been doing it for years is going to be really key, especially if you're trying to get momentum in your business. Because the worst thing you can do right now, especially in the beginning, is telling yourself, oh, well, it's just already too saturated. It's just already just too competitive. There's too many coaches doing it, right? Or maybe you've had people tell you that yourself. Maybe a partner or a family member or a friend has told you that. Oh, there's already too many people doing it. You're going to try to be a coach in the health market, or you're going to try to coach fitness. Oh no, there's way too many people doing that. There's people with like millions of followers who already do that. It's the worst thing you can tell yourself, right? Is that it's too saturated already. It's not possible to be successful because there's already too much competition, too many coaches with more experience doing what I'm trying to do, and I haven't even started yet. So if you're here, it's probably because you have a lifestyle offer or you transform your client's health physically or mentally, okay? And so in that niche, there's sub-niches within the health and fitness niche. There's, let's say, hormones or emotional eating or gut health. There's all these subset niches, and knowing that the health space itself is saturated, it's very likely that all of those niches are saturated as well. There's going to be competitors there who were there before you. So what I want to offer to you is, if you've been thinking that that's a disadvantage or that that's a negative thing, that there's already competition in the space, I want to offer to you that that's actually a good thing. It's actually a really good sign if you have competitors in your space. And I remember this instance very specifically when I was starting out online, just deciding to go all in. I'm going to commit to growing my health coaching practice online. I told a friend about it at the time. I told her about my plan, and her immediate reaction was, oh no, there's already too many people doing that. Do you know how many people are on Instagram, as fitness models and like selling health coaching? It's too late. And so I know this is a normal human reaction. It's a human brain reaction to have that. And most of us aren't even aware how we think about starting something if somebody else has already gone ahead of us and done it. There's already competition. And so as soon as our brain starts to dip into this possibility that we can actually do something, oh, I'm going to start this. I'm going to go online and start my coaching online. Our human brains kick in. Oh, well, it's probably not going to work because there's already so many people doing that. It's probably too late now. You missed it. You should have started a few years ago before it got too saturated, right? And I'm really curious who has had somebody either tell them that or has had that thought themselves. Maybe there's too much competition for me to be successful. Leave me a comment, leave me a yes in the comment if you've ever even had that thought, because it's really common. Everybody has it. I had it too, especially after my friend told me that. I was like, wow, maybe she's right. Maybe there are too many people already doing it. Maybe I should have started years and years ago when social media first came out. That's for sure the time I should have started, right? So what that thought creates is this emotion inside of us of doubt, right? Doubt that there's enough room in that niche for us to stand out, for anybody to even notice us. And then our brains say, well, there's so many competitors out there doing the exact same thing as me. Why should they hire me? How are they going to choose me? Like, for sure, nobody's going to want to pay me when there's already people with more experience and more testimonials and a huge following and all of this social proof that they could hire, right? And this is really common, which is why I think it's important that we're talking about this today, right? It's too saturated for me to succeed in this niche. No one's going to listen to me. No one's even going to notice me. But what I want you to hear is that it's not too late to succeed if there are people in your space already. In fact, inside OCI, one of the questions we ask you week 1 in OCI, we have a list of questions that we ask you when we're putting together your offer and packaging things with you. We want to know who your competitors are in the space. It's one of the best things you can be aware of. Like, actually know who your competitors are. How many of you know off the top of your head 3 competitors who have the exact same niche as you? Leave a yes in the comments if you know who your competitors are. Because some of you know there's competitors out there, but you actually don't know them. Like, you don't know who they are off the top of your head. It's really important that there's people in your space solving this problem in the market. It's actually a good thing. So when you see a competitor out there crushing it and solving this problem that you are passionate about helping people with, you should be excited, because that means there's room for you to succeed as well. Competitors in your space is one of the best things you can have, because it tells you there's demand. It tells you that there's market demand for the problem you're solving with your coaching. Isn't that the best news ever? That people actually want the solution you have and the solution that you're passionate about helping people with. So if you have an offer that is just so new, it's so different, nobody else is offering it, no one's heard of it, no one's searching for it anywhere, that's actually a huge problem. That's actually a huge red flag that we're going to point out to you in OCI. We're going to say, wait a minute. Is this something that people are actually searching for help with, right? Because it means that if nobody's searching for a solution to this problem, then there's not enough demand in the market for help with that problem. Or it means one other thing, your offer is just way too complicated and too confusing, and people aren't looking for that because nobody understands what you do. That's not what they're searching for exactly, right? And so that's a packaging issue. Right? You have an offer in a niche that people actually are looking to solve, but they just don't understand the way you are presenting it. They're not looking for it that way. Okay? So knowing that it's a good thing if there's competition, it's a great thing if your market is saturated, because it would not even get to the point of being saturated if there was not a lot of money to be made and a lot of people to be helped in that space. So point number one, having a saturated niche is actually a good thing, okay? Everybody write that down. It is a good thing. Why? Because it is your proof there's money. It's your proof, which means you can succeed. And maybe for one of you listening, that's just the one thing you needed to hear today. Maybe that was the one point that you need to take away from this, is that you're not going to let that fear or that thought that either you're telling yourself or somebody else is telling you that it's too late, there's too many competitors, too many people doing it for you to even be competitive with them, and you're just not even going to make that an issue anymore. You're not going to let that be the excuse that stops you from actually taking the action you need to take to show up and just go for it, right? Actually decide, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to let the fact that this is a popular niche hold me back from getting out there. So that's step one. We have to actually recognize it as a good thing, not a bad thing. Shifting that belief. Once you've gotten over that mental roadblock, the next question is, okay, I'm here, I'm committed to this niche, this is what I'm passionate about doing, I'm ready to show up. Now, how do I stand out? How do I stand out in this competitive, saturated niche where there's so much noise in the market and everybody's telling them what to do? So if you want to stand out above all of the other coaches in a saturated market and grab your client's attention, I'm going to tell you the best way to do this. There's a lot of different ways to stand out and package yourself. I'm going to tell you the best way to do it on this training. All right? Who here wants to know how to stand out in a saturated market? Let me know if you're with me, and I'll keep it rolling. This is really important. One, that we understand that it's a good thing. We have to train our brain to stop freaking out when we think there's so many people who are doing better than us, who are ahead of us, who are more experienced, who have more testimonials and more years of experience and clients and following. To shift that first before we can even get into the best way to stand out, because we're not even going to try to stand out if we think there's just no way to succeed. Eliza says, always. Awesome. So if you want to stand out, the best way to do this and really grab your client's attention is to speak to the transformation that they want. Talk about the transformation. This is where so many coaches are going wrong, and I'm talking experienced coaches. I'm talking the people that are your competitors, the ones that have been in the game longer than you, who are missing the mark on this, right? They make it about their certifications. They make it about how many clients they've worked with. And they're basically saying, look at all of my credentials. Look at this fancy person, this guru that I trained with, and trust me. Or here's my fancy branding. Look at how professional I am. And they make it about all of these external things that have nothing to do with what the client actually wants. What does the client actually want? Results, right? If they want to lose weight, then the transformation they want is to be smaller. They want to be a certain size that they were before, right? Or if they are having gut health issues, they want that pain to go away forever. They don't want to be in fear that they're going to have, an issue if they go out and be social with their friends, that they're going to be uncomfortable the whole time and running to the bathroom. Like, what they want is someone who can take that away and give them their life back. They don't want to hear about how many years of training you've been under, all these retreats you went to, or whatever it is that makes us feel validated and makes us feel better. It's not about us. It's not about what makes us feel good as coaches. That's not what the clients care about. They care about you talking about them and the transformation that they want, right? The desired outcome they want. So if you think that's, that clients come from, just praising yourself and talking yourself up and tooting your horn and showing how much training you've had and how much, this certification you just finished, and guys, I just got this certification, and that's how you're going to stand out, you're going to be in serious, serious trouble. You're going to be scratching your head wondering why you're not finding the clients or why the clients aren't finding you. So the positioning that you have in your niche is not hire me because here's how great I am. This is where a lot of your competitors are going wrong, and this is how you're going to stand out. It's here's the problem that you have. Do you want to fix it? I will show you how. Let's go. That's what they want. That's what they want to hear. And that's what gets you to stand out in a saturated market. It is that simple. And so many people in this saturated market are missing the mark. So if you're just looking at what everybody else is doing and trying to copy that and trying to study that and replicate that, then you're copying a broken model that's not going to work for you. Does that make sense? Why that doesn't work? Right? So everything that you say in your marketing, right, the positioning that you have that's going to help you rise to the top, even in a market that has a lot of noise, above all of the best coaches in the market, is the way that you package your message. The way that you package your solution in your marketing is everything. That's what your clients are deciding on. That's literally it. They're not deciding on how you run your session. They don't care how you run your session. They care if it works. Can you get them the result? Do they feel certainty that you can help them? Are you talking about their fears? Are you talking about their pains? Are you talking about the outcome that they want? What it is that they desire the most in their whole life? That outcome, not the surface level outcome, right? You talking about their deepest desires. That is what will have you shining and dominating in your saturated niche. So it doesn't matter how many people were there before you. It doesn't matter how many competitors you have, because if you nail this, you will stand out above all of the other coaches who don't understand this. And there's a lot of coaches who don't understand this. Promise you. It's the best news ever. Because it doesn't matter how you look, right? I know for a lot of people in the health and fitness space, that's a concern. I don't have a six-pack, right? Or I don't look like an influencer. I don't have that picture-perfect look. But if you are speaking to their problems and describing it in a way that's 10 times clearer, 10 times more clear and easy for them to understand than anyone else out there, who's just selling them themselves, the coach, if you are describing their problem and selling them that easy to understand solution that gives them the confidence that you get it, you will be extremely successful. Because your clients want to know you can solve their problems. That's all they care about. That's all they want to know. They don't want to know that you look fit, right? They don't want to know that you've been training with this guru for years, or that you've been getting new certifications every year for the last 10 years because you're keeping up with your certifications, right? That's stuff that makes us feel better. That feeds our ego, but it doesn't create certainty and confidence inside the client. And the client is the one who has to choose to commit, right? Why would a client choose you over somebody else with years of experience or years of training and certifications under their belt? Why do you think they would choose you? How many of you actually spend time answering this question for yourselves every single day? Right? It's one thing to decide that, yes, clients will choose me because I can solve the problem and I know how to describe it. It's another thing to choose to ask yourself that question every single day, to recommit to your belief that you are the choice that your clients are looking for. Super important. Make sure you guys are asking yourself this question every day. Why would they choose you if you don't have testimonials yet? Why should they choose you? It's for the same reason. It's all the same reason. Your clients choose you for the certainty you give them. How well you're packaging the message and putting together that solution to create clarity, the clarity that they need in order to be able to understand the problem and exactly how you're going to get them the outcome they want, that's what creates certainty, right? How well do you understand what they're going through? It doesn't matter if they've been going to a doctor for years if they don't think the doctor understands the problem and you do. I want you to think about that. The client who's been seeing doctor after doctor after doctor, and the doctor isn't understanding the problem or hearing them, and they find you and they hear your message and you're describing their problem to a T. You understand them on a soul level. Everything they're going through, everything they've tried, and exactly what they're trying to get, what they want. Who are they going to pay attention to? The person that understands them, the person that is talking about the transformation they want, right? Relying on testimonials and case studies. First of all, that is the worst way to grow your business because number one, in order to start, you're not going to have any testimonials. Am I right? How do you have a testimonial before you start? Number two, the experts that are relying on their testimonials to market themselves are underserving their market. They're leaving clients on the table that they could be helping. Should you use testimonials if you have them? Go ahead. Yes, we use testimonials. Testimonials are amazing. They're great to have, but they're not what your client needs in order to choose who to work with. What do your clients need to see in their niche? If they're looking for someone to solve this problem, what do they need to see in order to choose you? Pop quiz. What do they need to see? Who knows? We just talked about it. Do they need to just see your face a lot, feel super connected with you? Like, I just feel so connected with you because I just see you all the time. You just need to show up consistently and keep posting content every single day, and that's what they're going to buy? No. Your clients don't need your face. They need the they need the transformation. Yes, Caitlin, they need the transformation. So everything that you say in your message, in your marketing, is positioning that transformation. You know exactly how to take them there. right? You understand them where they're at, and you also understand where they're trying to go, and you know exactly the roadmap to get them there. This is what most coaches, even the coaches who have been in this game for a long time, don't understand how to do. And it's not the coach who has been in the game the longest that is the most successful, has the most clients, makes the most money. It's the coach who can help their clients see the path to get to their transformation the most clearly and the most simply. Your clients want to have that certainty that comes from having clarity, right? Your clients want that certainty and clarity that you can take them there to that transformation. People buy with certainty. This is the secret. This is the secret to putting yourself in that top percent of coaches, even in the beginning. Right? How many of you need to let go of the belief that you can't even be a top percent coach in your niche because you haven't been around long enough? Where do the top percent of coaches come from? What makes them the top percent? They are offering transformations in their messaging, in their marketing, in how they package their solution. And they're spending little to minimal amount of time thinking about themselves, building themselves up, their certifications, like making themselves look super professional, making themselves look good so they can feel good, and they're spending time thinking about their clients and how their clients can feel good when they have the transformation that they want. Am I right or am I right? Leave me a yes in the comments if this is resonating with you. This is a huge shift, okay? So first of all, shift number one is just, it's not a bad thing if your market is saturated. If you're in the health and fitness space, your market's probably saturated, or you're in a super confusing niche that people don't understand, and you probably need to get out of it and get into a more competitive market. And number two, even if you're in a competitive market, you can be in that top 10% of coaches just by how you position your message, just by how you are standing out with your message to your market. All right? And the second best way to stand out in a saturated niche is to stop giving tips. Stop giving tips. And this is something that I preach till I'm blue in the face, because it's confusing for coaches to differentiate what this means, right? The market is already saturated with coaches that don't know how to position and package their coaching and provide value. And the only way they know in their brains to provide value is through giving tips. They're trying their best. They're trying to show up and give value, and all they can think of is, what tip can I give today to help someone? But explaining how you have this really unique coaching session and you do it differently because you have this really unique style and it's about you, or, you know, that you have this really super zen space, and if you do in person, it's like, look at this room, look at how amazing this room is. People don't care about those bells and whistles. That's about making you feel good, right? And so if you're just offering bells and whistles, or you're offering little tips and tidbits, like features of your coaching and letting people know about all of the different features and benefits of what's offered inside there, your clients don't care. They do not care about how many sessions they get with you, how long the session is, whether you're wearing their favorite color every time they see you, right? That's not where the value comes from. That's what we feel is going to create value, because it makes us feel good about what we're doing. It's about us. Am I doing enough? Am I providing enough value? Am I showing that I know enough by giving all these tips? What do your clients need to hear? What do they actually need to understand? If it's not giving tips, what do they need to hear? If they don't care about how many sessions they get with you, they care about the result. Your clients want the result. So there's a coach down the street in the same saturated niche as you, and they have, Susie down the street has 6 breathing exercises in her program. Well, I have 12 brand new breathing exercises. Let me tell you about these breathing exercises. Your clients do not care. So what that means is that whatever you're packaging for your offer, it needs to be transforming a major life problem. It's a major problem in their life. That's what they care about. Your clients don't need more time. They don't need more sessions. They certainly don't need more workbooks or exercises. We try to give more and more and more as a way to make ourselves feel confident that we're giving value. How many of you have felt guilty of that? I don't know if my program has enough value in it. I don't have enough worksheets. I don't know if I have enough videos. I don't know if the video quality is good enough. I don't know. I think if I'm going to charge this much, I need to give them more sessions. I'm going to have to tack on more time. Your clients want the person who can solve their problem the most efficient way possible. So does your client want to work with the coach who can solve their problem in 10 weeks or the coach who is offering to solve their problem in 10 months? Which one has more value? Arguably, the coach who's solving it faster. The coach who's solving the problem in 10 weeks. So it's not about the bells and whistles. More time with you, more sessions with you, having the perfect layout behind you, having, white teeth or wearing the perfect color, that is not where the value comes from. It's always a symptom that we are looking to fill some type of void in our own confidence in our value. I want you to think about this. If you had some type of ailment and you had to choose between 2 people to help you solve it, and one person could solve it in 1 session per week, and the other coach could solve it, but you're going to have to come in 3 times per week, and you're going to have to talk to them every day, who is the client going to choose in the middle of their busy life when they actually have a lot of action they need to take in their own life? The person who has all of the sessions or the person who solves the problem the most efficiently? So we understand this on a logical level, but as soon as we get into marketing our own offer, we get it all jumbled up in our heads and we get really confused. And when we start marketing our own service, we think we need to prove something, but it usually stems from something we're feeling internally about our own confidence to help people, right? This can also stem from not understanding, where your clients' results come from. If you think that your clients' results come from sitting on a session with you, then you don't understand where results are created from. Where do results come from? I know we've talked about this before. Where do your clients' results come from? For the client who needs to lose weight, right? One of the most saturated niches out there. The client needs to lose weight. Does their result come from sitting on a phone session with you for an hour, 3 times a week? Or does it come from what they're doing and how they're showing up to implement on the guidance you've given them? It comes from them taking action. And what does their action come from? If it comes from them taking action, where does their action, how they show up, come from? It comes from their thoughts. It comes from how they are thinking about the result they're after, what they're doing. It comes from their thoughts about their circumstance, right? So if the client's results come from their thinking, do we need to add more exercises and homework and learning, or do we just need to focus on how they're showing up? How do they think and feel in order to show up the way they're showing up? Not everyone actually believes this. There's actually coaches out there that think, that your client's results come from buying a coach. I paid this coach. I for sure should be losing the weight because I paid for a coach. I bought a program. So this service that I bought creates my result of weight loss. Is it also possible to buy a coach or buy a program from a coach and not lose any weight? Where do the results come from, guys? The results come from their thoughts inside the coaching. That's where we have the most power as coaches. So if we can start showing them that in our saturated niche, when everybody else is talking about the bells and whistles of their program or their ebook or their exercises that they have, and we can start showing them the truth about where results come from, you understand why they struggle, why they give up, and what they actually need to do to get to that transformation. Who is standing out in the market? Who are they listening to? The person who understands the problem and is showing them exactly how to get there. This is so important. It affects how you market, how you package your solution, and whether you stand out in a saturated market at all. So make sure you're not forgetting where results come from when you're packaging your marketing. Are you selling bells and whistles they don't even care about? That don't even create results for them? Right? Are you selling them their desired outcome and showing them the solution in a more simple way, in a more clear way than anyone else out there? If your client understands the clear path to get there and they see that the transformation is possible for them with you, they will buy. You will win in a saturated market. So let's say you're brand new to your niche. Say you're brand new and you know you can help people. You're confident in your abilities. I know if I had a client today, I can help them. I really believe that. But I'm just not confident in how I package my message, how I'm packaging what I'm putting out there. I feel like I'm just giving tips, or I feel like I'm just trying to convince them I'm an expert because I've had all this training. If you do what I'm talking about today, you're talking about the results that your client wants, and your whole message is about them and how they can totally transform this area of their life forever, people will immediately feel and have an internal knowing that you understand what you're talking about. You understand their problem. And the final point that I will make about this, and this is really important, this is where a lot of coaches mess up as well, is that make sure that your pricing is not too low for the solution that you're talking about. The solution being the transformation that they want. So if you nail all of these points today, everything we're talking about doing, positioning your message, packaging it in a saturated market to stand out and speak to the desired outcome they want, the transformational offer, solving a major life problem, and the client says, how do I work with you? Sign me up. And you're like, great. Here you go, $99. Your client is going to think, wait a minute, something's off. This must not be that good. It sounded really good, but now something's up. Because subconsciously, your client knows the solution is premium. It's solving a major problem for them, like forever. If it was really doing that, like how could it possibly be $99? This must be like one of those other fads I tried that worked for 30 days. And the perfect example of this is we had a client this week. She was posting about a win in our group about how she signed a client, and in her win she said her program is over $3,000 now. And when she told the client the price, I can't remember, it's $3,200 or $3,500, and the client was shocked. Her client was shocked. She's like, that's it? I thought for sure you were going to say it was $7,000. I kid you not. This is the power of what I'm talking about today. Nobody says that to a coach who's marketing that they've got certifications and flexing about themselves online to try to make themselves look so professional and expert. They say that to the coaches who understand their problem and the transformation that they want and are speaking to that in their messaging, in their packaging of their offer. Super important, right? So she offered that lady who thought it was $7K offer, and she said, here you go, it's $99. Do you think she would have signed up? Or do you think that the fact that it was $3K plus reinforces the fact that, yeah, this is she's seriously solving my problem. This is important. This is a really important point. None of this matters. None of what you package, anything else in your marketing around matters if you are offering solutions for peanuts. You're solving major life problems for peanuts. Your clients are smarter than that. They know that something is incongruent there. So how you describe the solution and your understanding of their situation determines the value and the certainty that your client perceives in your coaching. And all of this, by the way, is predicated on knowing how to help people, right? And if you don't know how to help people, you'll never be able to do this step that we're talking about today. You won't be able to speak to them about that transformation. So if you don't know how to help people, then learn that first, understand your niche. But most of you are here in that niche because you understand them, you've been in their shoes, you just don't know how to package that message. This is the secret to standing out in a saturated niche. If you don't, you are going to be swallowed up, like completely drowned out in all of the noise out there. Because it's saturated. There's lots of people talking, but not many people doing it well. And there are people out there right now, today, that need your help. And if you don't know how to package your message, how are they ever going to find you? So even if you're in a saturated niche, most of your competitors don't understand this about marketing, okay? And you're going to be miles ahead of your competitors if you utilize the principles I'm talking about today. And listen, that's what OCI is all about. We talk about this weekly in OCI. And that's why we created this, to show you how to market yourself in a saturated niche in this health and fitness space so you can stand out and get clients, even if you don't have a huge brand, even if you haven't had clients before. You can put together a high ticket offer that is solving a major life problem and is transforming your clients' lives and be able to charge $1K, $2K, $3K, more, and enroll clients into it consistently. So if that's something that you think you need help with, you know that you struggle with knowing how to package your message, how to stand out, how to be heard, how to have your clients find you and know that you're the one to help them, then I invite you to book a call to speak with us, okay? We'll talk about your niche. We'll talk about your thoughts for what niche you're thinking about even, and we'll see if this is something that we can help you with. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Maybe we'll say, you know, this is something that we don't think is a good fit for you. Maybe we'll say, this is amazing, you should totally go for it. Because everyone is in a different situation. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get on the call, we'll get on the phone for an hour, we're gonna dig into this. Listen, we've heard pretty much every niche out there in this space. We understand which niches are working right now. And if your niche is too complicated, we're gonna tell you that, and we're gonna talk to you about how to fix that, all right? So we're gonna talk to you about where you're at, what's the best strategy, you know, what you should be using to attract clients into your business. We'd love to chat with you about it if this is something that you know is something that you need some help with. It's a completely free call. Book the call. You can go to ValerieElher.com/coaching, or I will drop a link here for you to book the call right here from the link. I promise it'll be the best 45 minutes that you've spent on your business all year. All right? 45 minutes to an hour, we'll dig into it together and we'll get you some clarity and get you into motion. All right, my friends, I hope this was valuable for you today. Until next time, talk to you all next week. Bye-bye.